Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So we do have some BlizzCon news to cover. It won't be an entire video of BlizzCon news. There honestly isn't enough BlizzCon news for an entire video of mine anyway. So we're going to make it so that there's BlizzCon news, and then not BlizzCon news, and then BlizzCon news, and then not BlizzCon news, and it'll just alternate back and forth. I think that's the best way to do it. First piece of news is that N7 Day happened, which is Mass Effect Day, November 7th. There's actually a signed Solarian portrait that was used as concept art by Matt Rhodes, and it's up on eBay. If any of you are interested in purchasing that, all of the money goes toward Child's Play, so that was like an N7 Day special. I think it's going on for another 24 hours as of the time that I'm making this anyway. I will warn you though, when I checked it, right before I filmed this, it was at $400. So unless you're real serious about this, just don't even look. Just don't even look at it, it'll hurt your heart. You know, if you're a big fan of Mass Effect, then this is a good opportunity to have something really cool. Like, I don't know, I'm an art junkie. I love having just framed things all over the place. So if I was a huge Mass Effect fan, which unfortunately I'm not, but if I was, I'd be like, oh, it's original concept art, that's so cool. It does make me wonder if I should be going on eBay and searching for concept art. No, because then it could be fake. What if it's fake? That's not gonna work. The Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls expansion has a trailer. It was released early, but now it's BlizzCon, so it's fine, doesn't matter anymore. It's really cool. They're making it a bit more Diablo 2-y, which everybody has been asking for. There's still no PvP, but I think a lot of us have given up on that, and there are other games that kind of replicate that in a Diablo style, so I think most of the people who were really just wanting Diablo 3 PvP have moved on to other games, which is, you know, sad, but at least they have something to kind of fill that void. So Reaper of Souls will give us an adventure mode that has entirely like bounties, and you get to look at a map and click and be like, I want to do this quest to get all the money and all the XP. And then there are also Nephilim Rifts, which are basically like survival events. So you have to stay in there and you have to survive until the Guardian of the Nephilim Rift shows up, and then that gives you a bunch of XP and money, I'm assuming. It's coming out in 2014 for PC, Mac, and PS4, and it looks really cool, honestly. Like, the trailer makes me want to try it out again, because I honestly, like, I played through the game once, and then I played through it about halfway, and I'm like, God, this is like boring to me. But yeah, again, I mean, a lot of people's response is, where's the PvP? But there are other games. And I think that Diablo 3 is going in a good direction, and they are taking some of the criticism. So that's good. If you want to see that trailer, I will put it in my description. Basically, the description is just going to be entirely Blizzard trailers, so heads up! Any of you who have been really excited about the new Killer Instinct game, you might be a little bit bummed out by today's news. So they've announced that they're waiting until the end of Season 1 to put in an arcade mode, which arcade mode is like just the basic, like the super basic version of the game where you just play through and you fight each character one at a time and get all the way to the top, right? That's like so standard across fighting games. So they decided, like, well, we're only giving you 6 characters and then we're releasing more characters over Season 1, quote, quote, quote. So we should wait until all of the Season 1 characters are out and then give you arcade mode. And I was like, really? Don't get me wrong, there's still survival mode where you just like, you go in and all of these CPU crazies come at you and you have to just fight as long as you can. Like, that's another standard mode, but it's not, I mean, having a fighting game without an arcade mode is so weird to me. So the game is launching on November 22nd with the 6 characters, and then over time they're gonna give us the other 2 characters, and I'm not sure whether or not they are free downloads or if you have to pay for them. But the survival mode that I was talking about is a free DLC download. So I'm assuming that that's kind of like a, sorry for not having the arcade mode, whoops. I don't know, maybe it's different now that fighting games are online. But that sort of a mode, that like climb the tower mode, was what I always played. Like, that's what me and my brother would just play over and over and over and over and over again. And so it's just, I don't know, I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around playing the game without that mode even involved. I think that's so strange. We have some beta updates, not only for Hearthstone, but also for Heroes of the Storm. They were announcing a bunch of stuff at BlizzCon. Apparently, Heroes of the Storm is going to be going into beta very soon, and sign-up started yesterday. You can opt in for it on Battle.net, so that's pretty easy if you have a Battle.net account. And there's also like an actual facts cinematic trailer now. I didn't realize that, because originally, remember there was like the cutesy little cartoon Carbot one, and now they have a legit cinematic trailer that's super cool. Hearthstone will also be going into open beta next month, give or take a month, because it's Blizzard. And we know a bit more specifically when the iOS and Android version are going to be coming out, and that's going to be late 2014. Yeah, that's more specific. That's as more specific as we could get right now. But, I mean, before it was just 2014, sometime. I've still been loving Hearthstone. I haven't played it as much as like when I first started playing it, it's all that I wanted to do. And that hasn't been the case, especially since Monster Hunter has like taken over my life. But like, it's a really, really, really fun game. And it takes all of those things about magic that I really liked and discards all of the things that I hated. And then they're just like, here's a card game. And I'm like, fantastic! Heroes of the Storm, I'm not a huge like MOBA Dota person. I'm not very good at them, as many of you know. But I'll be willing to try that out as well. Those of you who consistently make fun of games like Skylanders, I have some news that's gonna make you just wanna die. Okay, so Disney Interactive saw a 107% increase in their fourth quarter revenue because of Disney Infinity. Last year's fourth quarter revenue was $191 million, and this year's fourth quarter revenue was $396 million. So that is like a huge jump. It's so interesting to me because originally they were saying, okay, we gotta give all these Star Wars games to Disney Interactive because we need to like boost them up, and people love Star Wars games. So now that we own Star Wars, let's make sure that we're keeping some of these Star Wars games alive and giving them to this company. And hopefully they'll start, you know, giving stuff back. But, I mean, they've sold over 1 million starter packs, and that's across all platforms, but like, these are not cheap. People have consistently said, like, if you want to get into something like Disney Infinity, you should just go for Skylanders because they're so much cheaper, and also Disney Infinity requires more figurines than Skylanders does, which is just so strange to me. But, like, if you were going to get into an IP like this, why not get into Skylanders? They've had so much time to like figure out how to make the game really good and make sense, and people love it. And then, you know, Disney Infinity comes out and they're like, oh, we're just, you know, all of our figures are way more expensive and our game is still like kind of booty, but you know, just go for it. I'm not saying that Disney Infinity doesn't have potential. I'm sure it does, but I don't see how this is doing so well. As a final bit of news, the 5th expansion pack for World of Warcraft was announced at BlizzCon. It's called Warlords of Draenor, and you will be pitted against a savage enemy without remorse. Employing some things that we've seen before, like being able to pay to get to a higher level so that you don't have to level all the way. Oh yeah, and the level cap is now 100, so you would have to level all the way up to 100 in order to get to like the cool endgame stuff that they're putting together. It's always seemed so strange to me, even with like the original Guild Wars when they were like, oh, you don't have to start at 1. I was like, what? They also have like garrisons that you can put together, and the whole like Draenor world is now a new area, and they have new quests, new creatures, new everything. Oh, also new character models, which look great. In the trailer they show like old models versus new models, and I was like, whoa, that's like actually a pretty decent difference. They look nice. And obviously if you want like information about the story in general, they have articles about it on the Blizzard website, on plenty of other sites since BlizzCon is going on right now. There's lots of deets about it, lots of deets, but the trailer's super cool and I think you guys should watch it. There are actually 2 trailers. One of them showcases like areas, and one of them is actually a expansion trailer. They also were like, look guys, it's not gonna be free to play. It's never going to be free to play, so just stop asking. I don't think that most people realize the amount of things that they would have to change about the system and the way that the game works in order to suddenly make it free to play. Like, it's been so established the way that it is, that it would be hard for them to just like change a bunch of stuff to make sure that they're still making money, like through microtransactions or what have you. Holding for plane. I nails have been like slightly pink for a while now. Oh, I think it's gone. But yeah, can't you play up to like level 20 without having to pay anything now? Something like that. So I mean, they have, I feel personally that for a game that has so much to it and is so established in the payment system, that even them saying like you can play up to this point and not have to pay anything is pretty cool. Especially if you're like me and you typically will just play a character up until 20 and then be like, this game's getting hard, and then start over with a new character. I mean, come on. Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in the comment section. And if you would like to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. But otherwise, I hope you guys had an amazing week, and I hope that the next week is amazing, and I will talk to you again on Saturday. Bye-bye! Mwah!